Do you know the meaning of the words in Yiddish? Git geblusen? I want to tell it to me, a fascinating story, personal experience. But first, obviously, thank you to Hashem. While praying, Ribono Shel Olam, too many victims. Even one is too many. That's the only time where I agree with the Canadian Prime Minister then in the Holocaust, when he was asked, how many Jews will you allow as refugees into Canada? And he said, none are too many. I agree with him in terms of none are too many in terms of victims. But simultaneously, we see amazing miracles. So let's just say, Mizmor L'Soido, Orila Adonai Kol Haaretz Iudas Adonai B'Simcha Bo Lefono B'Nono, Duka Adonai V'Leimu Osanu V'Lo Nachnam V'Tzom Marise Bo Yishor B'Soid Chatzrois B'Silo, Hodo Lebaruch Shemo Ki Tov Adonai Le'Olam Chasdo V'Yado V'Odor Emunosoi. So here's my story after having given some tzedakah. Please join me with that. A number of years back, on my Rosh Hashanah visit to a local prison to do a Rosh Hashanah program with the Jewish prisoners in that particular prison. Program obviously consists of doing some prayers, sounding of the shofar, and a nice festive meal, as behooves for Rosh Hashanah. The way in, I meet on a regular basis every Friday for years and years and years. The same guard sitting there who is opening the door for me, and I say to him in French, bonjour, and he responds to me with a heavy Quebec French accent, bonjour, and I walk further. On my way out, I always say bon fin de semaine, and he again wishes me a nice weekend, and that's the extent of our interaction. But it's going on for years. That particular Rosh Hashanah, excuse me for that, and thank you for your blessings, was a Friday. I come, I say to him, bonjour. He again responds to me with his bonjour. And I walk on to the room where I will hold those Rosh Hashanah services. Welcome to Montreal Hay Fever. I blew the shofar, we did everything, and now, as I'm leaving, he opens for me the door, and I say to him, bon fin de semaine. He looks at me and he says, Rebbe, git geblusen. Rabbi, you sound the shofar very well. I was shocked. He said it in such a perfect Polish Yiddish accent. And I asked him in French, where did you learn these words? He says, what do you mean? Ich bin doch Hayid. I'm Jewish. Now I'm in total shock. I meet this man for years, every Friday, the same time, the same place, the same bonjour, and the same goodbye, and the same goodbye. Never ever has he identified, has he given me a hint that he's Jewish. And I ask him, what happened today that you identified yourself as a Jew? He looks at me. And again, in perfect Yiddish, he says, was heißt, what do you mean? Ich bin doch Hayid. I'm Jewish. In heart is doch Rosh Hashanah. Today is Rosh Hashanah. I think to myself, never ever has he given a sign of being Jewish. But today, he heard the shofar, because I was in a room not that far away from him. He had no choice but hearing it. In fact, there were some other guards who heard it, and they thought it's some kind of an alarm system that went off, and they started running all over the place till they were explained. The rabbi is playing some musical instruments. But to him, It stirred his soul. And then I understood the meaning of the blessing when we sound the shofar. The one that sounds the shofar doesn't say, that you commanded us, sanctified us with a blessing, with a mitzvah of sounding the shofar. We say lishmoya kol shofar, to hear the shofar, to internalize it. He did. At that moment, I understood the power of a Jew, the power of a Jewish soul, and the power how the shofar touched and affected him. So, Eibishter, how about already touching us with the shofar of Mashiach? And it would be very nice for you to do it today.